everybody, we're getting ready for another Card Magic live jam on this channel. Abhishek Rathore event is starting. Hi, so great to have you back again. Yes. Wow, the production has improved even more. That's right, baby. This is pretty much maxed out right now. Bow, bow. Alright, kittens. I'll be there with you in a moment. And I got so much music on my headphones right now. It's just too much music. Can we turn this down? It's crazy. Okay, let's get started here, everybody. OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe. Well, hey everybody, my name is OTHMARIUS and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to another Card Magic live jam session here on OTHMARIUS Magic. And we're doing this again on a Tuesday like it's supposed to be. Last week we did it on a Thursday. So all of you had already been grooving into the Tuesday sessions. Dropped out kind of, so not so many people were viewing, and guys, you missed something because last week we went totally loco bananas. Something absolutely crazy happened because at the same time I was streaming, Richard Bellers, another magician you guys might know from Penn and Teller's Fool Us, because Richard Bellers fooled Penn and Teller about 4 years ago, a couple of years ago. He was streaming live, also a Card Magic live stream, pretty much at the same time I did, and vice versa. So I decided to check out what he's doing, so I watched his channel while I was streaming on my channel. So I was watching a stream while I was streaming, and then I wrote a message into his chat box. I said, man, I'm streaming, watching you stream right now. And he thought it was funny, so he started watching me, watching him streaming, both streaming. It was like totally meta, and it was really, really nice. It was a fun thing, came out of the blue. And I've got, of course, all the links for everything I'm sharing with you guys here today in the info box as well as in the info cards, right? So you will also find a Richard Bellers channel there, link there. If you don't know about the guy, just go there, leave him a sub. Maybe you find something of your interest. Would be rocking awesome. Zach Magic is in the house. Zach, how are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. Let me check this out here. We are here. Hey, Matt, at Zach. That's amazing. So let me see how many folks of you are tuning in. We got currently 11 people watching. Guys, you get a deck of cards out, right? Get a deck of cards out, and we start jamming in a moment. And we are going to talk about card control here. I know you guys love card control. That is your favorite topic. And I want to talk about it very much in general. I want to show some of my favorite card controls as a performance. You know, I'm not going to reveal here all the cards control I know. But once again, all the links to all the goodies, all the tutorials on my channel in the info box as well as in the info cards. Having said that, saying hi to Ice Cubes. Hi, Ice Cubes. I believe it's your first time here on my channel. My name is OTHMARIUS, and we're just getting started with another Card Magic live practice jam. And then Yokoman 0581 is in the house again. Hello, Yokoman. How are you doing? You got a deck of cards out. We're just getting ready. Now, something else I'm going to do here today. I want to give a shout out to another epic, super big channel. But it's not about the channel. It's more about the video of the week. Maybe this is a new category I'm bringing up here, the video of the week, just to get inspired. And that was an interview, or more a discussion between Russell Russell Brand and Brown, Darren Brown. Wait, what I'm talking here? Darren Brown, right? Russell Brand and Darren Brown. They had a discussion going on. It was amazing. I'm going to talk about this. The link. I would show you the link. And then I discovered something, probably because I watched this video on Russell Brand's channel. I was introduced by the algorithm, by the AI, to the works of Alan Watts. Alan Watts. We're going to talk about Alan Watts, and I have an idea. I want to listen to some of Alan Watts' work while practicing card. This is getting extremely spiritual here today. This is going to be the most spiritual video on card magic, on card control, especially card control, ever on the tube. I guarantee you that, guys. And Brian Rappert, best from Napoli. Are you in Italy right now, or I must just been dumb as usual? Okay, guys, you're in the chat. I'm going to turn the music a little down here on my headphones because this is driving me crazy, right? And then we're going to the card table. What do you say? Going to the card table? Oh, that was my back. And here we are at the card table. Righty. So. Card control. Now, the most important thing about card control is not the control itself. I know it sounds crazy, but it is the level of awareness, the level of your consciousness. You know, guys, we're talking about consciousness here a lot on this channel because we are practicing cards, and practice brings in any field is meant to get us consciousness about what we are actually doing, what's actually going on, and how we succeed with our goals to become great artists in whatever field, you know, in our case card magic, right? So consciousness about at what point, or at what let me put it like this, interaction or moment of communication you are at with your audience. And there are, in general, 3 different types of card controls. The one where you do control the card pretty much at a point in time of your decision long ago, after the moment where the card has been lost in the deck from a spectator's point of view. And then there's a card control type. Usually these are these specific slides designed for controlling a card or a stock. Most famously the pass. These are these controls that you do sometimes even right on spot, right there, when the card, again from a spectator's point of view, gets lost in the deck. Right then you do it, right there, in plain sight, hiding in plain sight. And then there are these card controls that are actually no card controls, that basically are fake controls, because you are never changing the position of the card actually, or you are just faking to change the position of the card when you're losing it. And I show you those different techniques here in a minute. Now, the basic techniques are those where you first get control of the card and then control the card. And there is a time delay there. And this delay is really important to experience what it really means, the window of opportunity to proceed in card magic, to go to more sophisticated slides, like I used to say. And all these techniques are covered on my channel, these basics of card control. I will show you this in a second here. So what's going on in chat? Hi, just signing in. How are you all doing? And what's up? Flying V, I'm fine. I hope you're fine too. Yeah, so Brian Rappert is on holiday. Went to Pompeii today. Awesome. Great holidays. Awesome you tuning in from your holidays. That's rocks, man. Awesome. So we got 8 people viewing here right now. So for you 8, for you 10 precious folks, let me get started here. We got the beautiful Joker here from the from the bees, right? This beautiful joker. So, and this is just a classic way of card controlling. So you have a spectator, put the card back right there in the fan. It's what the spectator is doing. He or she is doing that, just like that. And then you just close the fan and you square up the cards. And you're done. The card is lost in the deck. Now, you have control of over the card right now, but you haven't controlled it yet. So there is no time for you to go on with your chatter, with your talking, with you explaining what you're doing or whatever routine you're performing. Now, the important point here is that, and this is so beautiful about it, the dirty work is still ahead of you, right? This could stress you out, but it shouldn't stress you out, because from a spectator's point of view, this situation is completely innocent. The card is just lost in the deck. So you have all the time in the world, and you don't really need to stress out at all. You can just use a simple table card right there, somewhere in between what are you doing, and you got the card controlled. You don't have to put any focus on it. You just do this casually, you know, walking by. Because from the spectator's reference point, the card has been lost in the deck. So if you cut it, or whatever you do with it, as long as you do it without any rapid motions, without being stressed about it, without bringing attention and focus to it, subconsciously, from a spectator's point of view, these cards will just get more mixed. So the card being lost in a mixed deck just gets lost a little more. So I just can give it just another card, just like that, you know? And I mean, right now, I'm really too far away from the point where we selected the card. What card was it? Oh man. Yeah, it was the beautiful Bee Joker. So, if everything went well, that's right, I got the beautiful Bee Joker here on top of the deck. Isn't that fantastic? So once again, there's another option to do this. For example, with the Chalier card. So you present a Chalier card, and you can even say, look, one package gets cut up to the top, and I cut it quite there in the middle. Just please check it out. I just put the card right there in the center of the pack. And then again, you square up the cards and you're done. All you gotta do is now just relax. Yeah, you got the dirty work still ahead of you, but just relax, okay? Once again, this time I'm using a simple double undercut, and I don't do this with haste or speed. I even have sometimes the package separated from each other. I just cut my card to the top, and if I want to, I add any false card in addition to it while I'm chatting with the people, something like this, or just this beautiful cut here, just like that. You see? Now, the more false cuts I add, the more it gets into a performance of, you know, card control, in the sense of keeping a card in position while you're shuffling or cutting. Now, here's the thing. You never want to turn this into a performance, except for you're at the high end of the whole journey of the Road to Card Magic, and your goal is to become a gambler magician, someone who displays cheating of cards at the card table, and then, of course, these performances of false shuffling and false cutting are part of the deal. But as a magician in the beginning, if you want to use card control for creating other effects, of course you don't want to put any emphasis to it. And the shuffling and the cutting, that should be used very limited and without bringing any attention to it. And here's the thing. A lot of people completely do underestimate these techniques, because it's very famous these days to know these hardcore difficult slides, these super special effects, you know, to get the card up to the top immediately, and so on and so on. It's all great, it's all funky, and you need it if you want to be a television or a YouTube or video magician. But if you're working in the real world, you don't need those stuff. Or let me put it like this, it's nice to have it at some point, but the basics, the foundation you're working on, is just this material, this stuff, you know, to be under control, to have a sense and an experience of the timing and the windows of opportunity you have with your audience. Let me show you another one of these techniques. Let me go straight into shuffling. So we let's say we had a spectator select a card out of the deck, and then we asked the spectator to put the card right there into the deck. Is it the card of the spectator? No, it's the Queen of Clubs. So we we shuffle the deck, we shuffle the cards just like that. We have the spectator stop us anytime. And this is not supposed to happen here, of course. Anyways, we have the spectator stop us anytime, and there goes the spectator's card, and then we just shuffle the spectator's card right there inside the deck. Just there. We shuffle the rest of the cards on top of it, and we keep on shuffling a little further, and we're done, right? And yet, by doing so, we control the card of the spectator. Right? Let me show you this a little more in performance speed. So I'm shuffling without, oh, I hate this. I'm messing this up all the time. I stop at any point, and of course, I got the spectator's card on top of the deck. And then I just do this once again. I just shuffle the cards. I have the spectators stop me. I shuffle them, and I shuffle them again. As you can see, I can do this, you know, hours over hours. I can also use the Hindu shuffle, so I'm just shuffling the cards, you know, right there up to any random point. I'm even dropping cards. It really doesn't matter. Any cutting technique, and the card is on top of the deck. This is your foundation. This is your foundation, and this is it's not as crazy as it might appear to some of you beginners there. It's all there in the beautiful book, The Royal Road to Card Magic, and as I promised, we're going to have a walkthrough. We're going to do a walkthrough here on this channel, going through these beautiful techniques here. We got here the overhand shuffle, first chapter, the overhand shuffle, second chapter, the riffle shuffle, then come some flourishes, two essential techniques, the glide, the glimpse. This is all basic stuff, you know. Then comes the key card principle, and then they are heading for the palm, which is nice, but again the overhand shuffle. I'm wondering now where the Hindu shuffle comes. It's interesting. The Hindu shuffle is it's very late in the book. That's insane. I would have put the Hindu shuffle right after the overhand shuffle. We're gonna go make a little walkthrough here. Anyways, you got all these card control, shuffling controls here, right there in the first chapter of the Royal Road to Card Magic. And this is powerful. This is powerful material. And if you really spend at the beginning of your journey the effort, the time and effort in getting these techniques at your hand, everything else it will not be a piece of cake, but it will come so much easier. All right. So one more time, this first of the three different kinds of card control. I have a card right there. I just lose it right there in the center of the pack. As you can see, I just put it in there. It's lost in the deck. Right there, just lost in the deck. And I just have all the time in the world, okay? I shift the cards from hand to hand, and then I just cut the cards, you know, at will, just like that. Sometimes I have a spectator, I say, please cut the cards here so that we really get the card lost. Spectator cuts the cards, and I say, thank you very much, you know. And the card is controlled, you know. And now it's just the first one. So you have, after the card is lost in the deck, from the spectator's point of view, the dirty work ahead of you. You could stress about it, but you don't have to stress. You don't need to stress about it, because the mindset of the spectator is already fooled. It's already misdirected. The card is completely lost, so whatever you do with it, the card just gets lost more. If you only stay calm about it, if you don't bring any attention to it, and if you play your cards smoothly, okay? And then, of course, we got all these card controls, and this is the card controls everybody's so interested in here on YouTube, you know. By the way, I'm drinking air, you know. Magical water. I'm drinking your chat, guys. Look, I'm drinking your words. So Flying Wee is happy about the topic. Excellent topic on controls. That's what I'm practicing right now. Awesome. And then hey, you shrine clown. What is that? Hey, you shrine clown. Hey, you shrine clown. Whatever. Says hello from Boston. Hey, hello. How you doing? I'm broadcasting from Berlin. What's up, man? And then Greg Schachter writes, "What's up, OTHMARIUS? Hello from Florida." Oh, then you know all of your. If I keep doing this here, all the United States are tuning in, right? And if the European Union doesn't shut it, but if YouTube doesn't pull the plug for its content creators from Europe, well, we'll see. I'm going to conquer the United States of America. So, back to cards here, or let's just do a little break. Let me tease you here. No, this is my back end here. This is not supposed to happen. I have to do work on this. What do you say about the quality of my live chat? Isn't it great quality I got going here? The sound should be super crisp of the microphone. By the way, guys, you also find in the info cards all the live streams I did so far on my channel. And the first one is terrible, however, because the audio quality was so shitty. Unbelievable. And throughout the time, my live streams got better and better and better and better. And now I maxed out with the quality here. I'm not from US, I'm from Indonesia. Oh, I'm sorry. No, ancient, wait, what's going on, you guys? Come on, don't give me a hard time. Now the chat is crazy. Hey, yeah, ancient Iruna, I've never been talking about you. This is your first comment. No, you're not from the US, you're from Indonesia. That's great. Since India, no, Indonesia, it's not the same thing, India. No, I'm taking it all. It's cool. Wherever you guys tuning in from, it's amazing. It's a privilege. Spend this time with you, and that you guys spend your time with me here. Louis Pedersen is back in the house. Hey, Louis, welcome back here. Hello, everybody. Got to be back. I'm practicing overhand shuffle controls. Very, very good. Overhand shuffle controls. Seriously, listening to you like I used to listen to my professors. Yeah, I could have been a professor, but not in magic. Maybe in philosophy or history, because I studied those subjects, but I never really attempted a academic career. I just did it I'm just doing stuff because I like it, you know? I try to live my life freely. Anyways, listen carefully to what I say, because I'm a wise man, but do not take what I say for the last words ever, okay? I'm just a mortal, just like you, okay? I just have limited resources myself, you know? Everything I'm saying, it's just work in progress. Take everything I say just as an inspiration for your own thought process, okay? I'm very, very keen on this, kiddos. Always be extremely critical, always, okay? Always make up your own mind, and just don't follow leaders. Never follow leaders, okay? So, Zack Magic Jake, me too. I was practicing false shuffle and false gut blinding yesterday. Quality's great, everything, we are on track. Let's get back here to the card table. So, once and for all, with the shuffling things, you know, it's the same thing. We catch a in-jog here and we shuffle over, right? And if you mastered the overhand shuffle, this is a piece of cake, and it's very important when you train false shuffling. The natural rhythm, the natural flow, your inner music, the beat of your heart, you know, the sound of your soul, the vibes you got going on. That's your natural rhythm of shuffling cards, and you got to find this out. Okay, so whenever you got trouble with a false shuffling technique, just shuffle them cards for good, for real. So how does it feel? How do you do this? Okay, and then of course you will find that when you create a jog and when you catch the jog, that there is a break in your natural rhythm. So you gotta get this going for yourself. Especially this amazing top stalk control, which is so right there at the beginning of the Royal Road to Card Magic. So we got the 7 of diamonds and the 7 of spades on top of the deck. Let me give this a try, if I can make this. So, I'm sorry, it's a bottom control. So we got, let's go here with the ace, the jack, and the 3. Okay, so it would look something like this. I shuffle the cards and then I shuffle the cards, right? And I do this once again. I hope I don't lose them, because it's really not so easy to do. And for me, it was this pattern 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Now I lost the card here. I don't know. So what I got under there? I got the ace. I got the jack. I got the 3 right there. So, and the rhythm of it for me is the most important thing here. So when I shuffle, so I hit them and I go for 1, 2, 3, and it's always this 1, 2, 3 thing with this shuffle. 1, 2, 3, throwing it in 1, 2, 3, and you got to find your rhythm, you know. And And then you go for it. And now I lost it. I kept the bottom card here. So I got a queen now under the ace, which is something that you can use very well when you got the queen here going. Let me see if I can do this. So I got the queen here, right? And I just placed the queen. I fucked it up. I didn't do this for a long time. That's a very nice technique. So I got the queen here. Let me try this one more time. And damn it. I placed it onto the table. There we go. Queen on the table, right there. And of course it's the ace. Now the question is, where is the queen in the ace? So name any number here, anyone. Louis Peterson, give me any number between 5 and a million. Any number. So while Louis Peterson is making up the mind, I keep on shuffling the deck. And the question is, where is the queen of clubs going to end? Okay, I'm gonna just show you the simple things you can do with something like this and with a technique that's just right there at the beginning. Louis Peterson, I need your assistance here. You gotta make up your mind. Just name a card, name a number between 5 and, damn it, 14, whatever. Because we got 14 people viewing. Name a card. Okay, I start just dealing here from the bottom cards. So we got the queen. Louis Peterson says 8. Ancient Runa says 8. So we got 1. We got 2. We got 3. We got 4. We got 5. We got 6. We got 7. Guys, and we got 8. This is the 8 card, right? You've seen me shuffling the cards like crazy. We were looking for what card? For the clubs, for the queen of clubs. Check this out. Wow! This is not real. That shit ain't real. That is crazy, right? So, card control, shuffling, opens the realm for thousands of effects. This is something relatively easy, using the glide, third method here. And all these punks out there would despise that, would say, what a simple trick, bullshit, you know, do great cool stuff like Chin Lim or Chris Ramsey. But these people have no idea how it works in the real world, because if you perform something like this well, here, the glide, okay? That was the glide. You can entertain your audience with a very simple means, and it's all on the basis of card control. But I know, guys, Daryl Leroux, of course. So, by the way, also the glide is one of these techniques. There are tricks. What is it? There are tricks out there where the glide is embedded without you ever noticing it, even as a magician. So it's embedded within another secret and embedded, and it's really built in there. And then this becomes a very powerful weapon. And then you go like, oh, hold on, hold on. You know, especially a glide combined in some effects combined with some gaff cards and stuff can be a killer weapon. You know, so do not underestimate the basics. Do not underestimate these techniques that has been there, that are out there probably since cards. Since cards are out there. Louis Peterson, your message has been retracted. I'm so sorry. I guess I got this. Do not spam security thing on this video. I'm so sorry, because you guys know we're typing in numbers and then they were blocking you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's okay. It's okay. So back to control, card control. Okay, I'm showing you now the other controls on the magic table. And so for everybody tuning in right now, I just showed you these controls where you do the dirty work pretty much in an offbeat, pretty much at a point in time where the spectator has already completely accepted the fact, where it is completely established in the mind of the onlookers that the card has been lost in the deck. And then while you're already proceeding somewhere else, going somewhere else, pointing the direction of the spectator's minds to where you're heading with this, that's where you do the dirty work. Okay, so but however, there are these card controls where you are doing the dirty. We got the 9 of diamonds here in play, where you're doing the dirty work right there at the moment where you actually lose the card in the deck. Right? That looked now very sloppy. Probably it didn't flash even, but that would be here the version of the table version of the invisible turnover pass. Now this is something, this works also much better with a little bit of misdirection. It's not flashing here on the camera, but it really works better if you're communicating with the people. And when I do this, I would not look at the cards. I'm just right now here looking at if I'm flashing with the camera. This is a strange addiction. Of course I would keep my attention with the audience. And these are these slides, these card control techniques, where you're actually doing right there, spot on, bang, you're doing it, okay? You show the card gets lost right in a moment, bang, you're doing this. And this is, it has the, it is better than the first version in the sense of, there's no more dirty work, it's just done right there at the point where the spectator experiences the card getting lost in the deck, right there you control it. Like, there's also, there would be a version like this. I like this one very much. So you have a spectator's card, and it's just right there, and all you do is you bring all the other cards right there on top of it. And yet, of course, the card is controlled. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that lovely? Let me show you this again. So I'm having all the cards, and I would use it like, what I would do is I would have, let me do it like this. So I would have a spectator select the card, say stop anytime, stop right there. Pinky break magic, by the way, pinky break magic, stop right there. So you stop me right here, and what is it? It is the 9 of diamonds, pinky consciousness. We talked about this 2 live streams ago, right? Pinky consciousness, and now I'm just bringing all the cards back here. Look at this, bang, and yet the 10 of diamonds, the 9 of diamonds comes jumping to the party. Spot on, right there, at the moment where you do it. Like the pass variations, you know? Like if you would go for the dribble pass, for example, so you got the spectator's card, the 9 of diamonds, and you dribble the rest of the card over there, and then you just dribble the other cards. You know, it's a little flashy if you do it on camera, so not on camera. If you do it with this angle here, I don't really like this angle, so no, I don't mean the angle, I mean the fact that I just can't go down with my hands here. You know, makes my work really difficult here right now. So I have the card. Oh, the 9 of diamonds. Oh, sometimes I'm better than I know it. So I shuffle, I have all them cards go on top of there, and guess what? Bang, the card just comes jumping back to the top, right? So I'm doing this right now pretty much at that point, you know, where the card gets lost. Right here at the point, I have spectator's card, 10 of spades, all the other cards go on top of there. I give them one more dribble, and the thing is done. So if I proceed now, the dirty work is all done. I can completely relax instead of the situation where I would have, you know, the cards with a pinky break under control, and I would have to, you know, do the dirty work along the way. It's a different thing. It's very important to be conscious about this. Let me show this other absolutely fantastic technique where you kind of do it immediately. What was it? No, let me show you, let me introduce you now to the video of the week. But before I do this, I want to give a shout out here to this epic channel. It is Royalty Free Planet, and I owe the guys so much, and I wish I could tip them now with the Brave browser, because you see me using the Brave browser here. So this is how it would be. could just tip them here. Just like there, the says in German, tip, yeah, and some money out of my crypto wallet would be transferred into their crypto wallet, which is inbuilt in this web browser, in this amazing web browser, which comes with a ad blocker and with a spyware blocker and a tracker blocker. It's amazing, and as you can see here, up here, up here, this little thing, I can't make it bigger. This line here, it says 99 plus. Let me see this. Let me make this bigger. It is altogether 1002 trackers and ads and whatever blocked right now on this website. This is insane. This is insane. I love this web browser so much. And guys, you should give it a try. Download link in the info cards, in the info box of this video, of this live stream. And if you test this web browser for 30 days, I get $5 in this cryptocurrency called Basic Attention Token, which is the cryptocurrency, the payment system which is inbuilt in the browser works to pay content creators. It's a revolutionary concept, and I hope this web browser takes off because it enables us folks to support us folks simply by watching the content. Isn't that great? Anyways, the web browser. I'm always giving this a shout out because this is a cool thing. Now to the video of the week. This is on Russell Brand's channel. I believe this is an English or British comedian who's got quite some experiences with drugs and somehow, you know, tried to get his life back on track, and it's on a kind of a soul search and spiritual thing and stuff. And he's talking about truth and illusion with Darren Brown. And it is an amazing approximately 1.5 hours watch. So you have kind of with Russell Brand a little bit of a soul, as I said before, soul-searching type, more spiritual character, you know, who's into meditation and tries to figure out what's going on with religion and beliefs and so on, and looking for the meaning of life and stuff. And but Russell Brand is also very funny in his approach and very open-minded, so he's not a dogmatic guy at all. And Darren Brown, yes, you guys know Darren Brown. He is a extremely famous magician and mentalist with incredible television shows, and he is a straightforward atheist and rationalist. And these guys have a great conversation, and I just wanna give a shout out for this video. I enjoyed listening into this conversation and practicing cards the other day, and I just want you to do the same. It might be really interesting and rich for some of you guys. I truly believe that. So now you got it. It's right there on Russell Brand's channel, and of course you will find the link in the info cards of this video. So if we're done here or anytime, enjoy this. It's for me, it was also very despite the topics, they really go kind of pretty deep into the human condition at some points, and they have a nice chemistry going on between each other, because they're very smart men and very honest with their approach. And for me also it was very interesting to meet or to see or experience Darren Brown in this setting, which is always super interesting when you mainly are just viewing the stage character and the guy who runs the big show. And here you have the guy more in the back, a little bit talking about his private life and his approach on magic. It's really interesting, absolutely interesting. So now Louis Patterson writes, Flying V, how long did it take you to learn the Herman pass? It looks like it's a bit sensitive to angles or what? Now, Louis Patterson, I have a tutorial series. I have a tutorial on the Herman Volte or the invisible turnover pass. It's linked in the info cards. The thing about the Herman pass is that it is called the invisible turnover pass also because you usually perform it in a situation, in an angle where you... Oh man, I had this the other day. Now the camera is just fucking broke again. What the hell? I'm sorry guys, I gotta fix this. Give me a break here. This is so annoying. What is this? Why is this happening when I'm streaming? I don't like it. Yeah, here we go again. We see. That's too much. It was like this angle. So the Hermann-Volte, the invisible turnover pass. This is as again here with the table. If I do this standing, I would be a little bit such a amount of space down with my hands, and then it completely turns. It completely looks natural. So we got the Jack of Spades, right? Right there, the Jack of Spades, and we just keep it, this Jack of Spades, right where we find it, right there in the center of the deck. And then all I'm doing is just turning the cards around. And now you could see this movement here of the wrist, which happens because I do this motion here, and because I'm holding the cards up to get this angle, which I would naturally get if I just lower my hands a little bit. Anyways, so you do it in the moment where you ace of clubs, where you just basically just turn the cards around, just like that. That's where you do it. I just brought it to the bottom, and it is absolutely angle proof. It is, as you can see, I can even do this here in this very difficult environment. I could really do this, and it's that's why it's called the invisible turnover pass, because it is such a. Now you saw me flashing here with the index. Compared to a classic pass, which would look under this condition with the hands up like something like this. And there's no way around it. Just no way around it. So, now let me show you some of these tricksters. So we got a eight of clubs. I take the 8 of clubs right there in the center. Boom, boom, that's it. I just wave with my hand. I just snappity. I transfer the blinky from the keyboard into the cards, and the 8 of clubs comes jumping back to the top. Ha! That is some weird, sick card control. Now here is the situation that you actually don't perform a card control. That's the third category, where you do pretend to control the card, or where you create the illusion of changing the position of the card, which you actually don't. So again, this is the thing here where you're doing the dirty work right there. You're creating the illusion right there. So you're even one step ahead. So we're not working with the card anymore. That's the card. You all know this now from my videos. Ah, damn it! I lost the card here. This is a shame when it happens. So we have one card. Now you all know it, and then we place the card in the center of the pack. So it is not a control, but it can create the same effect, right? And this is the third message. Now the interesting part here is, and that's why where I've came up, or why I pointed these differences out, because if you blend all these techniques, all these different also time frames, time settings wisely together, you can create very, very powerful magic, very powerful card magic. And as a matter of fact, if you look at more complex tricks or designs or even routines, you will find exactly this happening. You will find that the core design of these tricks is a blend of different techniques and also of different time intervals. Direct in front, hiding in plain sight, putting a distance between the illusion and the dirty work in advance, and completely faking it, completely creating an illusion from the very beginning. Yeah? And this is kind of your toolbox. This is your repertoire of techniques. And with that stuff, you can create incredible illusions and powerful card magic. There's maybe, you guys are now talking about the Louis Patterson and Flying. We are now talking about the invisible turnover pass and also my tutorial. And thank you for the flowers, Flying. There's maybe one more thing to mention. I really point this out in the tutorial that that for a moment in this position where you can rest pretty much angle safe from all the time. But you're already in this position, right? So you rest. You have the lower portion in a vertical to the ground, basically, and you can really relax before you do the turning motion, which is pretty cool, which gets you into performing this pretty fast. However, you can of course then speed up the process, and then the cards or the lower package is not resting there in the palm at all, and it's almost like in Aaron Fisher's gravity half pass. Yes, so the deck is just like making this motion underneath the package, and right when it comes around, you turn the other one with it. So in a performance situation, and again, this is it would look like this, you know. Now this one is even too fast. So I'm coming. So I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm closing it up. I'm closing it up, and bang, turn it around. Okay. And this fast and loose motion, for that you need to really the right angle with your wrist. You need some space down here with the wrist. Again, that's why there is this variation of this invisible turnover pass for the table situation, where you would close up the cards and then you would you would do it like this. So you have the card, 6 of diamonds, you would close up the spread, and then you would turn it around like this, you know, to light it on it. So you have this justification for the whole motion, and it's just there because you have the situation with the table that you can't go down with your wrists there where you need to go. So now I have already introduced you guys to the video of the week. I already gave a shout out to Richard Bellers. I want to do this once again because we had this great conversation and this great interaction last time I did the live stream. So here is Richard Bellers' channel. Let me show you this. Right there. So he full Panatella like 4 years ago or something. He was doing also live streams. He got some tutorials out there. Quite some interesting stuff. And he really knows what he's talking about. And he appears to be a really funny and really cool guy, cool dude. We had a super funny session yesterday. So check out Richard Bellers' channel and give him some love, you know. Subscribe and maybe watch one on another video and give him a like and let him know that I sent you, you know. It's just great. It was really funny, this situation yesterday. So, I have not been practicing. Here really. Been showing you stuff, walking you through stuff, talking some stuff. So, time to get into practice.
And what I want to do with you guys now, first of all, I gotta get myself into the groove a little bit here with the cards, with them cards. But what I want to do with you later is I want to listen a little bit into the works of Alan Watts, which is a crazy guy, a philosopher, someone who's into, or who was into Zen Buddhism or Zen meditation quite a lot. And the other day I listened to something which is called, at least here on YouTube, Alan Watts Outwitting the Devil. And this thing is quite crazy, and it was something I just wanted to hear again, because also at a point it refers to gaining or achieving goals in the Zen way, you know, where the performer of a skill or of an action becomes one with all the motions, and there is no time delay given anymore between the idea or the thought of the action and the action itself. And at one point he says something about mastering something, so that the mastery is actually the point where you forget the failure in a way, and you, by very paradoxically, losing control or giving up control over it all the time. So you failed so often, basically, that you don't care anymore, and you become one with the whole operation, with the whole motion, and then it works. This made me smile, because I was already practicing my cards for a couple of hours, listening to the crazy stuff on the internet, and then this guy hits me with this thing. That was pretty dope. So, before I'm gonna do this, before I'm gonna listen into this with you guys, I just wanna practice a little more, and also I want to give you guys the opportunity to ask me some more questions, because today's topic, of course, is or was card control. I said what I wanted to say in this live stream, so we are now going into a deep dive of practice, which is so much more important than just learning the secret or just learning some tips and tricks, because the painful truth is, whatever is real for you guys, you know, whatever becomes relevant and important for your own lives, you have to discover this yourselves anyway, you know. A teacher, no matter how good he or she is, can just, you know, point you into the right direction, but you gotta walk yourself, you know. You gotta learn it yourself, whatever it is, you know. You gotta bring the will, you gotta bring the effort, and you just gotta, you know, make your own reality happening. So, I love this. So if you have any questions, my beloved subscribers and everybody who's watching right now, on the controls, let me know. And then I would drop the subject, and I would head on to deeper spheres, because the control is also, because when we're talking about control, we are talking about general motions. We are talking about our whole body. We're talking about the balance of our whole life. Because the only thing that's real or that's true, that is the present, you know? And the future is just an imagination. pretty much like the past. So whatever the presence is, this is where we are. And this is where we are dealing with shit, you know? And when we're practicing, of course we're practicing to achieve goals. But the thing about it is that what we're actually doing, we're shaping our own construction of reality with within a specific flow of motions and movements. So when we're talking about control in card magic, in card control, we are talking about much more than just performing one or another slide and one or another effect. We're actually talking about mastering life and mastering ourselves, you know. And I'm on this crazy train right now because I've been through a rough 2 weeks with a lot of pain, chronic pain, and it just broke me pretty much yesterday or something. And that's the best thing that can happen, you know, when you go like, man, I've filtered this down. I'm just out of control. I'm out of control. What am I gonna do now? And this is when all the things you've done before, everything that you tried to keep together, you know, when it all falls into place. It's like Tetris of the soul, you know. And then there's a new space in the head for new creations, for new visions, or for new hope and new faith, you know. If you got to keep on traveling the path you're on right now a little further, you know, because you can't change direction all the time. Can't do that, you know. Got to stay on track a little bit, and you got to believe in your vision, you know. Otherwise, you're not getting anywhere. You're just a rat in a maze, you know, not a human being. Trying to create meaning, trying to gain self-respect. That is very well said and very true. Brian Rappert writes, for me, getting the card control right is important because it enables me to be with the audience. Without fluid control, it's hard to be present with others. That is just so true. But as I said before, or when you think about these three different concepts of card control, and I mean, one of them isn't even card control. In the first one, where the card is lost in the spectator's mind already, and then you do the dirty work within the interaction of the audience. This is absolutely perfect training, because you can you learn the timing of misdirection and how people how you are reacting to people and how you are reacting to stress, and yeah, you easily perform in this situation, learning, really reflecting on what's happening, a double or triple undercut, controlling the card. It's a very different feeling, a very different notion than, you know, going straight for a card control, a pass or slide, because usually when you do this, before you really master the technique, and before you really gain experience and performance experience, you tend to rush to the slide. So before you come to the slide, you get the pace gets, and then when you do the slide, it's like a interruption, and then you fall into this relaxing mode because you did it. So and this is super alienating for people to watch. So you do this with the cards, you do this, and then you're gonna get in faster, and at the point where you should actually be the most relaxed, you do this very strange thing. It's just a blink of a second, you're totally tensed, and then you breathe out, you relax, and then you're done. It's obviously that something happened. Even spectators don't really realize it, but subconsciously they take it. So that's why at the beginning you should go for this thing where you have to do the dirty work in steps. So you're basically stressed out all throughout all the time, you know, and it's better to mumble or to stutter in the same intervals, creating a pattern that is whole or one for this one performance or appearance to others in the mind of others, than this strange accident moment where you go crashing and all the energy is focused at one point, you know, completely interrupts it. And then of course the third method is the playing, you know, folding the people. It's like, you know, I have the 4 of diamonds here, and now I take the 4 of diamonds and I place the 4 of diamonds. Check it out. I place it right there in the center of cards. That's it. Playing the 4 of diamonds, yeah. Which of course is not the 4 of diamonds, but to, you know, to play it out this moment, you know, where I go. And there's no heat again because you switched the cards long before. No, 4 of diamonds, 4 of spades. I'm such an idiot. I'm always doing that. Now everybody was expecting the 4 of diamonds, and it was the 4 of diamonds. Yeah, you can rewind this. It was the 4 of spades all the time. Thank you so much for asking, Louis Peterson. We had actually a great weekend on the market. It was very beautiful on Easter. And a lot of people, everybody was in a really, really good mood. But for some reason, people weren't so much in a shopping mood. So we didn't, so our sales numbers weren't quite satisfying. We weren't the only ones suffering from this. You know, sometimes it's like this. The marketplace is a crazy place. And I don't know what's happening with the sheeple, you know. For some reason, this weekend they weren't like in a shopping mood. But still, it was okay. There are days like this, and some days are like this. But I had this chronicle. I have a pain in my leg right now. It's nothing dangerous, but it's just super annoying. And yeah, this was also very uncomfortable. So it could have been a perfect weekend. It was just okay. But thanks for asking. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, let me show you my favorite control here once again. So I've got the 7 of clubs this time, and all I do, I just bring all the other cards right there on top. Yeah, and if I show you now the top card, of course it's the 7 of hearts, which is perfect. It's perfect. Because the 7 of hearts to a 7 of clubs, that is basically easy peasy. Check it out. Here we go. And bang! There you go, right? And then, of course, I just take the 7 of clubs and place it onto the table, and you will find it just, you know, turning itself back into the 7 of hearts. Because that is the magic of every illusion. Yeah? And then I messed up the Maxing turnover. What kind of strange music am I listening to here on my headphones? Are you listening to that? What's this? This is so weird, man. But I dig it. I totally dig it. Dropping the beat here. Is everybody practicing? Are you guys practicing? Yeah, because that's why we're here, right? I'm almost done with this one here. Yes. So as you can realize now, or as you see now, I got myself into some practice here. Now, what's going to happen now is that I'm going to turn off the music. Just like that. Turn it off. And then I'm going to take a look at what Flying Weasel. I was watching a DVD of John Kerry, and although this trick were not my cup of tea, I learned a lot of his approach. John Kerry. I thought Jim Carrey. I was just like, my brain was just like, oh, it's interesting. Jim Carrey did magic. A lot of this approach of time, misdirection, and psychology of your spectator. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's one aspect of magic performance that I want to get into and develop. Yeah, if you're serious about magic, you have to, man. There is no way around it, and it's really a good way to get inspiration and insights from pros like this. And this is really this is this what we're doing here. That's a basic level of practicing the skills and the techniques, and having fun doing this. But the next level, of course, is embedding all these techniques into routines and then getting these routines out performing for people and learning about misdirection, audience management, timing, and so on. And being playing a character, transponding. How you say this? The magic, acting out the magician, and so on and so on. It's a wide field, man. You can completely go crazy, when you think about it. If you take a look at all these great performers out there, I mean, basically there are no limits to what you can do as performer, if you are creative enough and if you're bold enough, Yeah. So let me show you this, let me show you this. We're going to listen now to Alan Watts Outwitting the Devil. You will find this link in the info box if you want to listen to this. Let me please introduce it to Alan Watts very shortly. That's what Wikipedia says about the guy, because I didn't know the guy before that. Okay, here we go. So it says, and Watts was British-American philosopher who interpreted and popularized Eastern philosophy for a Western audience. Born he moved to the United States in 1938 and began Zen training in New York. Pursuing a career, he attended Siberia Western Theological Seminary, where he received a master's degree in theology. Watts became an Episcopal priest in 1945 and left the ministry in 1950 and moved to California, where he joined the faculty of the American Academy of Asian Studies. Guys, I'm super exhausted. My English is really terrible right now. So, Watts gained a large following in the San Francisco Bay Area while working as a volunteer programmer at KPFA, a Pacific radio station in Berkeley. Watts wrote more than 25 books and articles on subjects important to Eastern and Western religion, introducing the then youth culture to the way of Zen. The then burgeoning youth culture. What kind of youth culture is this, man? Never heard about it. One of the first best-selling books on Buddhism, okay? In Psychotherapy East and West, Watts proposed that Buddhism could be thought of as a form of psychotherapy and not a religion. And so on, so on, so on. So, like kind of a scientist, psychologist, philosopher, and stuff. And if you dig what we're going to listen to while we are practicing card right now, if you dig that, if that kind of resonates with you, which it certainly did with me, there is the Alan Watts project. That's a website where you can buy some of his stuff. Yeah. Checking this out. The works of Alan Watts, there's different lectures and so on and so on. All the links are in the info cards. Now you know it. And this is my YouTube feed, by the way, my today's feed. And look at this thumbnail. This thumbnail is really standing out here from all the other thumbnails. Isn't that a great thumbnail? Open smiling guy. The text, you can even read it here, super small, and so on. Anyways, analyzing YouTube. So I will now go away, and you will only see the card table. And I will start practicing here now, and then we're going to listen together to Alan Watts, Outwitting the Devil.
Existence already includes non-existence. You could say being and non-being constitute existence. Just as we know physically, sound is constituted by sound silence in very rapid alternation. So being, non-being constitute existence, and existence is something of which you may say the game is worth the candle. If it weren't, it wouldn't be. It's like that. Some people try to say there is good and bad with small g and small b, and they together constitute good capital G. Or one might say that humanity is, and the good of humanity, is a curious combination of beneficence and rascality, of reason and passion. And if human beings didn't have those two sides, they would be less than human. Man is in a certain sense redeemed by his passions, redeemed by being something of a rascal. Because if he weren't, he would be like a stew with no salt in it. The salt somehow is something that in a large quantity is horrible, but in a certain small quantity delightful. And so everybody has to be salted with a certain amount of unrespectability. Otherwise they're impossible and intolerable. The only thing is, as a fervent cook, don't overdo it. It is in that respect, you know, that it's said of great gurus in India. They have a very funny thing they say. People, Westerners, go over and they meet this man who's supposed to be extremely holy. And they're all agog, you know. And then after spending a few days with him, they begin to wonder. They find he smokes cigarettes. They find that he occasionally loses his temper. And they begin to think, well, is this man so holy after all? I mean, he surely should not be dependent on these little habits and luxuries and so on. And then they find he has a girlfriend. And then they leave because they're so scandalized. Well, then the Hindus say, now you shouldn't get so upset about this, because if this man didn't have a few little vices, he would cease to manifest. He would simply disappear. He has to have these things to keep him grounded, to keep him in the world. Or if suddenly, you know, he gets terribly angry with a certain student and seems to lose his temper, they say, oh, no. That's a tactical anger. That he did on purpose to wake you up to something. It was for your own development and for your own good. He didn't really feel angry at all. Oh dear. But do you see the point? There is something in the fact that if he didn't have these little attachments, he wouldn't be manifesting. he'd simply disappear. There's something in that, only don't take it too piously. I think you get the point. So then, we now have to explore a very important aspect of the Joker, as equivalent to Gurdjieff's Sly Man. You see, he points out the four ways: the monk, the fakir, the yogi, and the Sly Man. And all the first three ways are ways of great difficulty. They involve a very, very strenuous discipline. And of course, as we get it through the books about Gurdjieff, the way of the Sly Man involves a discipline too. But I think there's more to be said about the way of the Sly Man than appears in any of those writings, because this is very closely connected with the whole approach of Taoism, the Chinese philosophy of Wu Wei, or non-aggression, and with what is called in Buddhism the middle way. When the Buddha first discussed the middle way, he put it like this. He said, to try and solve the problem of suffering by immersing yourself in pleasure only leads to a hangover. To try and solve the problem by asceticism also brings no liberation. You merely get tied up in a kind of masochism where you say, I know I'm right just so long as I'm hurting. And all that is doing is expiating your kind of infantile guilt sense. So he said there is a middle way between asceticism on the one hand and hedonism on the other. But actually, the middle way is more subtle than that, and it's beautifully discussed in Professor Baum, a book called The Philosophy of Buddha. That's B-A-H-M, Professor of Philosophy at the University of New Mexico. And he gives a very, very fascinating analysis of the middle way in the form of a dialogue, whereby it works simply like this. The student brings a problem to the teacher, and he says, I suffer, and it's a problem to me. And the teacher says, you suffer because you desire. If you didn't desire, you wouldn't suffer. So try not to desire. And the student goes away and says, I'm not very successful in this. I can't stop desiring. It's terribly difficult. And furthermore, I find that in trying to stop desiring, I'm desiring to stop desiring. Now, what am I to do about that? And the teacher replies, do not desire to stop desiring any more than you can. And so the student goes away and practices that. But he comes back to the teacher and said, I still find myself desiring excessively to stop desiring, and it doesn't work. So the teacher says, do not desire too much, not to desire, to stop desiring. Now, do you see what's happening? Step by step, almost like Achilles approaching the tortoise, the student is being brought together with himself to the point where he catches up with his own inner being and can accept it completely. And that is, you see, the most difficult thing to do, to accept oneself completely. Because the moment you can do that, you have in effect done psychologically what is the equivalent of saying in philosophical or theological terms You, as you are now, are the Buddha, just as I was explaining a few minutes ago. That's unbelievable, because we are always trying to get away from ourselves as we are now, in one fashion or another. And it's only we will only stop doing that through a series of experiments in which we try resolutely to get away from ourselves as we are. So that is the middle way. But ordinarily, in these other ways, the way of the yogi, the fakir, and the monk, the individual makes a big thing out of the work of liberation, and especially likes the kind of teacher who will put him through the most severe paces. It's interesting how there arise from time to time schools in the West where someone comes along offering, people say, look, it's all very well to go to discussion groups and talk about these things, but that's not the real thing. What you need is really to get down and do some work. And often these teachers are very rude and very stern, but people love it. And such a person will always attract a great following, because people get the feeling, now we're at serious business here. This is really something, you see. And this, you see, though, can be an awful problem. Let's suppose that you have some difficult and distressing habit, like drinking too much. And you're assured that once you've become the victim of this habit, it's an extraordinarily difficult thing to get rid of it, and it requires intense willpower. And so that kills you right off. You're a dead duck from then on. It's as if, you see, you had said to the devil one morning, look, I'm going to get rid of you. I'm not going to have anything to do with you anymore. So the devil, who is an archangel and is terribly clever, is all set for you. And because he knows that you are getting out of his way, he surrounds you with greater temptations than you ever imagined. If you are going to outwit the devil, it's terribly important that you don't give him any advance notice. And this is where the work of the sly man comes in. Put it in other terms, in Hindu or Buddhist terms, in the popular terms of popular Hinduism and Buddhism, liberation is getting out of the toils of karma. It's like this. During your many past lives, you've done all kinds of deeds, good and bad, and you are reaping the consequences of these deeds today. And also today you're setting up future consequences. Now, before you can be liberated, you've got to pay off your karmic debts. And so the moment you set your foot on the path of liberation, you are apt to find that all your karmic creditors will come to your door. And that's why it's often said that people who start out on a serious work of yoga suddenly get sick and lose their money, and their best friends drop dead, and all kinds of ghastly things happen. That's because, you see, they served notice that they were going to do this. And so all the creditors came around. If you're going to leave town and you owe lots of money, you know, you mustn't announce that you're leaving or give a farewell party to your friends, because the grocer will find out. So the art of the sly man is to make no contest, but simply to leave without one word. In other words, that's the meaning of Wu Wei in the technical vocabulary of Taoism. Wu Wei, not to interfere, not to force things. That's the best translation of Wu Wei, not to force things. But so he just drops it like that. But you're in this respect, you see, you're your own worst enemy. Because even if you serve notice privately on yourself that suddenly you're going to drop it all, already the devil knows. Because who do you think the devil is? Now this lies behind the whole problem that is discussed in the book Zen in the Art of Archery. The necessity of letting go of the bowstring without first deciding to do so. Another way of putting it is that the decision to release the bowstring and the action of doing so must be simultaneous. Not to decide and then act, but to act, decide all at once. Now, why is this? If you are going to be an expert archer, you must shoot before you think, otherwise it'll be too late. You don't aim and then shoot. It's all one action. And this is true likewise of any sort of shooting, pistol shooting as well. That if you aim, if you decide and then fire, you're apt to do things like pulling the trigger instead of squeezing. All kinds of wrong things are done. And you're always a moment too late if you decide first. You have to act and decide simultaneously. So what does that do, you see? That puts up a very curious problem, which in its own turn becomes a bind. To try and act quickly enough so that you overtake the preliminary decision. To try not to decide first. And that is an impossible problem. I wonder if you ever read von Kleist's story about the fighting bear. This is included in Nancy Wilson Ross's book, The World of Zen, as a kind of Western Zen. It's a story about a man who has a fight with a circus bear. And the bear reads his mind and always forestalls any attack that he makes on it. There's absolutely nothing he can do to get past the bear. And so in the same way, you might imagine a guru who is a mind reader, and he always knows if you decide before you act. And if you do, you see, the devil will catch you. Instead, you see, of deciding that you won't be an alcoholic anymore, the only thing to do is not to drink, without any previous decision on this matter. But how can anyone do that, you see? That's the question. How can I decide not to decide? How can I announce that I won't make any announcement without making an announcement? You see, there is no way out of that bind. Try as you may, you go on and on and on, trying, as Herigel did, to release the bowstring without thinking first to release it. But then, strangely enough, one day the thing happened. He did it. And this is involved in our learning of almost all techniques. That we work and work to achieve that final point of perfection. And it doesn't come, and then one day it happens. Now, what is the reason for that? Is it simply, and this is really, you know, a way it's usually explained, but this is an oversimplification. It is not that we have practiced it so often that it suddenly becomes perfect. It is much more subtle than that. What happens is that we've practiced so often that we find out we can't do it. And it happens at the moment you know you can't do it. When you reach a certain point of despair, when you know that you are the one weird child who will never be able to swim, at that moment you're swimming. Because the desperation and the total inability to do it at all has brought you to a point which we might call don't care. You stop trying, you stop not trying to get it that way. You just have arrived at the insight that your decision, your will, doesn't have any part in the thing at all. And that's what you needed to know. You've overcome, you see, the illusion of having a separate ego. There is no way of telling anyone that that's an illusion and getting appropriate action, because we are thoroughly indoctrinated with the idea that it's real. And if I say, well, I'm going to get rid of my ego, that's what the Taoists call beating a drum in search of a fugitive. He hears you coming. So the ego, that is to say, the illusion of having a separate will and a separate I center, that can be an effective agent, that cannot be overcome by a decision which seems to be centered in the ego. You might as well put out fire with fire. It can come only when an attempt to act from the ego center has been revealed to be completely futile. Then the thing happens, because you've really discovered that it was, after all, an illusion. Now, be very careful how you formulate this sort of thing philosophically. This could, of course, correspond to the kind of person who feels unafraid and who feels very free because he's a complete fatalist. A lot of people are, and are very happy in their fatalism. They really feel that they don't do anything, it just happens, and that it's all life, and that when they won't die until it's their time to die, and so why worry? Everything, they have the sense of everything is just happening to them. And this is a kind of a floating feeling. It's as if you didn't have to push things at all. They just flowed along. Well, now that state of affairs, that feeling of you don't have to push anything, it just floats along, is very similar to the experience I'm describing, if not the same thing. But this person has interpreted it as a fatalist in a rather passive way. That is to say, he has felt that there still is some kind of a little differentiation between himself as the experiencer on the one hand and that force or set of forces called fate on the other. He is pushed around, but he witnesses being pushed around. Now, in this state, this person still has a little fragment of impurity left. There's still one fly left in the ointment, and that is the sensation of being pushed around. There is still a fundamental division between the knower and the known. And in this case, the case of the fatalist, the knower seems to be the passive thing, and everything known, the objective world or the goings-on of his own physiology, they appear to be the active end. And the knower just has the experience of himself being moved by the tides of life. The important thing to find out is this, that the sensation of being the knower and the experiencer of all this is not, as it were, aside from everything else that's going on, but it's part of it. Just as you, although you experience your own existence subjectively, you are nevertheless part of the external world. You are in my external world just as I am in your external world. So in this way, the final barrier between the knower and the known is broken down. There is nobody, as it were, being carried along by fate. There is just the process. And all that you are is part of the process. Then there is a curious flip. The individual who has always felt himself to be the tiny little thing on the end of the big determining process suddenly goes bloop. Have you watched sometimes a tiny little piece of mercury coming nearer and nearer to a large piece of mercury? The sudden moment when they touch each other and bloop, the little thing vanishes into the big one almost more dramatically than a drop into the ocean. In this case that I'm talking about, it isn't that the individual organism vanishes. The individual human being doesn't vanish. But he experiences no longer a passive relationship to the world, he simply sees that all that he is and all that he ever was something that the entire process was doing. At the time, in other words, when he felt himself to be separate, he sees that that is in a certain way just what he should have felt, because that was what the process was doing in him, in exactly the same way that it was giving him brown or blue eyes or blonde or brunette hair. And that's going through the door and turning around and seeing there wasn't a door. Of finding that you aren't fated, that you're not trapped, because there's nobody in the trap, and it takes something trapped to make a trap.
Okay. There was some crazy stuff here, some absolutely intense stuff. Don't you think so, guys? Once again, we've been listening to Alan Watts here, Outwitting the Devil, and you find all necessary links to listen to this again in the info cards, right? And I've also got a link in the info box, also with the official to the official homepage where you can purchase. Pretty much, they got it all what he did throughout the 50s, 60s, 70s when he was doing his thing. Now, just to recap this here, or let me explain why I have been sharing this with you today. Because I've been down for a long journey already in my life, and magic is just the latest thing. And of course, pretty much like everybody, I'm looking for something out there in the world. And this specific speech we just heard together while practicing resonated with me heavily, and it was like a door opening. You notice maybe sometimes, right there in the matrix, something, a new path opens, and I'm really curious to walk through it. I don't know how much I'm gonna share with you guys on this journey, on this side way I'm taking there, but this was one of these moments where I realized different elements or older aspects of my search, of my studies, are falling together here, and this is kind of the body of my work, which hasn't to do anything with YouTube at all, and with teaching magic, but with actually working as a philosopher and as a thinker. And this is super exciting and super interesting to me. So I just wanted to share this with you at this point, and pointing out here right now this one aspect which has been very grounded, the most grounded moment in this whole thing, where he talks about learning a skill, at the point where you become one, basically, with the whole motion, and you stop thinking about what you're doing, and you also kind of give up controlling the motions, so you just become one. I talked about this the other day, or we talked about it, calling it being in the flow, after a certain amount of practice, being in the flow, getting into the flow. And this is pretty much the same thing here, but of course with other words, and then in a wider and other context. And the other thing I thought really impressive here is that a lot of those things this guy we were talking about, and basically this was a philosophical, almost a spiritual, religious approach to certain questions. But if you relate this to magic as a performing art, you have this moment where within the performer, the both characters, archetypes, the evil and the good, the divine one and the not so divine one, so God and devil, or Buddha and the devil, are falling together, because you are at the same time the one who creates the world, especially for your onlookers, but at the same time who deceives the onlookers. So you are basically playing both characters, or not so much playing, actually are taking the place of both archetypes, which are out there, known in literature and especially in religion, because they do reflect on human experience, on human spirituality, and on human cognitive experience of the world, and also the concept and the experience of the ego. So all of this, when I heard this, it was like, damn, man, this is all there in magic, and actually performing it, you are taking a part, or you're stepping into the stream of all this amazing history, human history. And this is something that I am personally interested in very much to explore and develop in the future much, much more. Because it's super fun to perform, or to just have a hobby, or to be a spicy performer, a magician. But when there's some gold in it, why not try to be lucky? Why not trying to dig it out? Great inspiration for me. I am trying to learn the snap change. Seems impossible. Perhaps I can just stay with it till something opens somehow. Not by me. The snap change. Okay. Brian Rappert, because you're the man. You mean the Cardini change, right? You mean. Let me make this visual. You mean the Cardini change. So we are having basically a card we're working with here, 10 of clubs, right? And then I like to make this happen with just a bang, blink, the 10 changes into the queen, right? This is pretty much the same motion I explained with the top shot, where you're just shooting the card from one hand to another. Yeah, so practicing the top shot is a pretty good thing to do this. Here's the motion. Important is the thumb runs parallel to the left edge with a bit of the flesh protruding over the outer edge. Then the index finger, you know, takes hold of here the cards also with the flesh of the tip protruding just a tiny bit. And the rest of the cards are resting on the base of the very flesh of the thumb, like there. Now your pinky comes with 8 of the second finger mainly, but also of the third, but mainly the third finger. And the pinky, and that's what the pinky does. It pulls the card there. See that? And that's what you got to practice now. Bang. And if you want to shoot the card at the point where the card flips loose for a split second here, there's energy now in the card. See, there's a little bend in the card. And if I bend it a little more, it jumps off here from the flesh of the finger, of the tip of the thumb. Bang, this motion. And if you want to shoot it out now for the top shot, that's the moment where you rapidly pull all the cards, and then the card jumps out into the air, flies into the air, and then of course it's a matter of practice to control the behavior and catch the card, and then yeah, of course to create then as a color change. It's the same thing on the cover of the card. No, don't get it. Like there, you cover the card and then you gotta bring it down under. The Cardini change, is that what you mean? I hope so. Or is it, oh, you mean this, no, I'm such an idiot. Now I thought you the Cardini change. I'm such an idiot. Of course, you mean something such more basic. Let me give you this a try here. 1, 2, 3. Ha ha ha. Hey, what's the right angle? Yeah. Let me show you. This is a stupid angle here. Stupid angle. Hello. So this is turn this off. Stupid angle. So I got still 7 guys with me. Guys, what do you say about this crazy Alan Watt thing? Wasn't that an amazing? What is so deep stuff? So we got the hearts and 2 of hearts, and then I change it with one snap, bang, into the 10 of spades, right? 10 of clubs. I'm sorry, I'm such an idiot. Yeah. Snap change. I believe this is one of those things. There is 8,000 tutorials out there. It's called snap change. This motion, you're right. Look. Look. That's the motion. Let me stand up for you. Show me this side. That's it. One more time for you, baby. Yeah. So what I do, I really pull it. What do you say? How did they teach it? Like, yeah, maybe from this angle. Yeah, this is the motion. So what you do is you as if you would snap, and you pull the card with you with the second finger. And in performance speed, bang. Works with the audience. It's really, and this is super angle sensitive. Like it's just like straightforward. Where's the camera? Like bang, there you go. That's what you got. I can show you this because when I'm here, look, boom, I got it. Look, I got it here. So now let me give this a try. Like a little bit down there, you're flashing. I'm going here. I'm totally flashing. I'm going a little bit here. I start flashing. You know, so see there's even a little bit like this. You know, you got to really. So it's eye to eye. You do it on their eyesight and try to do plan. That's it. And then got to get rid of this card secretly. Yeah, I nearly got into trance listening to his voice. Very powerful. Yeah, it's super powerful stuff. And if you want to, you know, I'm a trained philosopher, by the way. So I've learned at the university to follow thoughts and follow argument, and also especially not to take stuff too seriously. So I'm really curious, and I'm interested in all the many different ways you can view the world, and different approaches of trying to understand what the fuck is going on. And what I love about science is that the more we know, I mean, today we know more about the world than humans ever, you know, and this knowledge really delivers the fact that we are knowing that we don't know anything really, you know. And it's so beautiful. So I'm really not with anybody who's sure about what they know and don't know. So I'm staying away from dogmatic people. I used to be myself very dogmatic as a young person. Sometimes, you know, there is a time for that. You need to believe in something, you know. You need to also fight over things, you know. Maybe it's, you know, learning some social skills, you know. But at the end of the day, especially in a globalized culture we live today, with I don't know, 8 billion people, 7.5 billion people hitting the planet, with all the changes that's happening, it's really, really important to keep a settled pace, you know, to stay calm and stay cool, and to realize that actually nobody knows what's going on really, and that the only reasonable and sane approach is one that tries to work together and getting the situation stable, and having the well-being of everybody on focus, and everybody who's working on something else is an evildoer, in my opinion. Is somebody who's exploiting other people, exploiting the planet. I don't know if they're just ill-tempered, or if they're just too psychotic or too lazy or whatever to get the wide range of options and possibilities on their radar. So I'm staying away from dogmatic people, basically also religious people of all colors and kinds, and I like to stick around with the people that ask questions and that trying to make it a good time, a good experience for everybody. No, it's my kind of folks. I know how to do the snap change in theory. It's just hard to do at the proper speed. The harder I try, the more I screw up. That's why the Alan Wyatt's clip resonated with me. The guy's called, I know, I just want you to know so that's no misunderstanding. Alan Watts is his name. Did you know the guy before? I don't know. I believe I heard a little bit about him, but he wasn't very present in my life or something. But I believe he's quite a big name. He made Buddhism and Zen philosophy and Asian philosophy famous in the West about a time, or at a time where that wasn't a big thing, where it wasn't famous, and where being critical or being running alternatives to the main narrative and the main religions or religious doctrines wasn't really famous. So basically, from what I heard, he is completely, although he used to be a Christian priest and theologist, he at a point completely questions the idea of a divine being of any sort, of any theological it's a theist, any theist concept. So the concept of a higher divine being with a personality, with an ego itself, a not just a deus, a theos. He completely refuses that, and bringing this Asian culture, this Buddhist and Zen philosophy into the West. So it's interesting character, and the way he puts it, he's got his voice. He really sounds like I imagine the sound of somebody in the 50s where he was, you know, like kind of this radio voice. And I like it, and it resonates even 2019, especially when we are dealing with the art form of magic, when we are practicing super sensual, super micro tensional micro movements, very delicate things. When we practice this and when we focus onto an experience that creates wonder and sensation on a highly reflective, self-reflective mode, interacting with people, shifting or managing or manipulating other people's attention, all these elements of magic, stuff like that is really close by, and it's really, really near around the corner. And at a certain point, you just cannot ignore it, and you shouldn't ignore it. Of course, you know, that's all I'm saying. And I have no worries about it getting in, with this channel deeper into this territory. Why not? You know, it's just another jungle. Let's get in there, because we are monkeys. Like, we are made for that shit, you know. Hey, Yushin Clown says, awesome live chat. Thank you so much. It's awesome tuning in. Sometimes, you know, it's like there's this group here of people gathering. They just have to, it's the right timing and the right groove, the right time and the right groove doing this. And this, my channel is super small and super tiny. And right now these live chats, with my personal situation, they're just the right thing to do. I just don't want to put up, I will still do that, you know, but I just don't want to put up tutorials and videos under super high pressure, which are then not suggested by the algorithm, by the YouTube algorithm anyway. As a matter of fact, of course, my channel is growing since I'm putting out content, since I'm doing the things I'm doing here, but there is no growth rate. So basically, the 2017, 2018, my channel has not been, my growth rate has not been growing. It's always the same, no matter what I do. And this is actually extremely frustrating. So I decided it doesn't matter. I can do what I want, you know. I don't care anymore. And maybe it's the same thing like what we just learned about the Zen of being an archer, you know. You just become one. I've got to become one with the algorithm. I just don't care. I just don't. I realize I don't have it under control, and maybe at that point I become the AI, you know. Got to go. Brian Rabbit, thank you so much for tuning in. I will now turn the music back on, and I will go myself back into, we're doing this now, guys, by the way, for 1 hour and 55 minutes. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you, and Brian, thank you so much for tuning. Thank you so much for supporting me also on Patreon. This is really, really amazing. I really appreciate it. So, guys, I'm now going to turn some music back on, and then I'm going back on the card table, practicing a little more. And now I realized that I completely forgot. Now I wanted to share this on Twitter and YouTube. Now I share this on Facebook. Now I share on Facebook that I'm live. Like, since I'm already doing this for 2 hours, completely teasing this spiritual drive I was aiming for today. And yeah, now people are tuning in, and the show is already done. I'm such a douche. Unbelievable. Anyways, maybe I would just do a second round and listening to something else from Alan Watts. That was so amazing. So I'm going back, and I'm just turning on the music again. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shuffle. And then I just start with this song here. Don't you think it's time? I think it's time. This is Royalty Planet, royalty-free music. It's pretty dope. Got a little music in the background here. So for everybody who's tuning in right now, hey there everybody, my name is OTHMARIUS and welcome to my channel. And today we are practicing cards magic live again here, talking about card control, control of life, or respectively losing control in order to master the art, you know, master life, you know. We are riddling, you know, Chris Ramsey is doing some puzzles and riddles. We are riddling the whole matrix. the whole shit show, the whole existence, what the fuck is going on out there? Do you know? I have no freaking clue, but we are joining here our forces together every Tuesday to undo the secret of the secrets. And Brian Rabbit just left the hub building because he had enough of that shit. Are you with me? Are you with me? Going back to the table. Going back to the card table here. Practicing cards again. So let's recap for everybody what we said. There are 3 different in general. Of course, it can always be more complicated. You can always go much more in detail. But there are basically 3 ways of control, card control. First one is where here we have a spectator put a card into the fan, we close the fan, and the card is lost in the deck. Now, I'm not talking about this control here, this specific technique with the fan as the control. I'm talking about the control happening after the point of the spectator accepting the fact that the card is lost. The card is lost now in the deck from a spectator's point of view, and now I just can cut with a simple triple table cut, and I just hope I didn't lose the card. I lost the card. I lost the card. Gotta do this again here. Where's it? King of Hearts. Why did I lose it? I felt it. I knew it. I still. So let's go for the Jack. Let's do this one more time. I hate it. So, Jack goes into the card, into the fan, bang, 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 bang. You close the fan, and then you just square up the cards. The card is lost in a spectator, in the mind of the spectator, and now you are just doing your thing and casually, very slowly, controlling the Jack of Hearts to the top. So, you do that after the fact was established that the card was lost in the deck. And then, of course, there are these card controls where you do the dirty work right in front of them. So we got the 4 of Hearts right here, and all I'm doing right now is I'm bringing all the other cards here on top, bang, just back. With the 4 of Hearts right there in the center, right? Of course, I didn't. Of course, I got the card back under control. So this is one of those things they would show in a trailer and so on and so on. I just want to point this out here. The difference is you do the control, the dirty work right in front of everybody's eyes. Right there, spot on in the moment. And then, of course, there is this control, which is not a control at all, actually. So we got here we go with the 9 of clubs, right? And the 9 of clubs right there, it goes into the center of the pack, right there. Just like that, and look at this control, and this control. Always snap with your fingers for no reason. Anyways, the card comes jumping back to the top, right? Comes rising to the top. And this is the 3rd way of doing it, where you actually don't control anything, any card, where you just create the illusion of a card getting lost in the deck. And so you didn't actually change the position of the card. Yeah? Know what you're doing. And know what you're practicing. Now, the first aspect is important for you guys to get into performing with sleight of hand, to get a feel for audience management, for timing, and also for a constant pace of nerves, okay? Because you are with the spectator with the card being lost, and then you walk your own way. Spectator just follows you already misdirected, and you get a sense for how it feels to send the spectator onto the wrong track. And while you do that, you do the control. And you can do it under cover of this misdirection. And this experience is extremely important for becoming a decent performer of close-up and parlor magic. And the other one is this thing where you do it straight ahead, bang. And you don't aim at the beginning for this one. You have to learn beforehand how to manage your audience. And then you can embed something straightforward, really calmly, really cleverly into your routines, and then these become weapons of mass destruction. You can literally blow minds, completely blow minds. And the other one, the last one, where you create the illusion because of a card getting lost, but although you didn't change the position of the card at all, that is very powerful also. And this gets you into, or this brings you into this whole realm of faking it, you know, of presenting an illusion, which they completely buy. It's like this, like the French drop, you know, when you have a coin. I don't know if you can do it, and you take the coin, yeah, right? So in a French drop, you need to practice that you take the coin and that you really have it in your hand. So it's got to be in your hand super, super strongly. And right now you see that I was focused too much on my other hand. So the illusion already, you knew it, I had it in my other hand, you know, before I opened my fist. So you gotta sell with the French drop this illusion of taking the coin. Of taking the coin. How does it feel to take the coin? And how does it feel to, you know, to make it vanish? Yeah? It was much better this time. Why? Because I just left my hand a little bit open, you know. Because when I do this in this position and I grab the coin, you know, my hand stays in this position. Why would I do something like this? So next time I fake it. Now you saw it drop. I try to keep the situation, and then I faked it. There, my intention goes with my hand, with the hand, and then the coin vanishes. You know, best with a little smoke and something. And same, of course, with the cards. Just creating this illusion. There are these different. You see, the important thing is that your mind, your imagination, goes somewhere else, respectively. In each different method, a way of doing it, other resources are used or are free to use, you know? And this is the key. And then again, the whole world of card control with false shuffling and false dealing and false cutting. Also very beautiful. And then we went into the realm of getting away from our hands, from the techniques, talking in general about practicing, advancing, progressing, and then we would listen to this absolutely crazy stuff and Watts. And if you guys like that, we can do it something like this more often here on the stream. By the way, to tease you guys, we're doing this for the next couple of DiVEs. I already signed this in. So next one, today's the 23rd, is going to be the 13th of April, and then we are already hitting it 2nd of May. And then I will not be able to do it at the 7th of May. Maybe we're going to do it on Thursday, on the 9th of May. But then, of course, on the 14th of May, on the 21st of May, and on the 28th of May. So this is going down. So embrace yourselves. And I'm also super hyped and super excited because this weekend, 27th April, I'm going to see Eddie Izzard. Wunderbar. His show, Eddie Izzard's show, Wunderbar. I'm going there with my girlfriend. I'm super excited about it. I'm a huge fan of Eddie Izzard. I love his humor, and everything I've seen from him always enlightened me, made me laugh, and gave me a good time. Yeah, I'm going to see Eddie Izzard live in Berlin. Hey, awesome. Now, back to the card table here. So. I made quite some progress here with my seconds, and also I guess I've riddled the problem with my bottom deal. I just have to really nail this now, really practice this now. especially if you see me practicing the second deal, the bottom deal after the second deal. You notice this huge difference in the left hand. But one day, and this is the goal, I will be able to. I should be able. That's the goal, you know, to have a steady hand like I'm having it right now with the bottom. That, and if I can do it like this, then I'm opening the masterclass, you know, my own masterclass. Louis Pedersen, thank you so much for tuning in. You got to run now, but as usual, it has been a wonderful practice session. See you next time. Awesome, Louis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your support. We're doing this next coming Tuesday. Yeah, it's going to be the 30th of April. Okay. See you around then, mate. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in. Actually, these seconds are already ready for actually performing. Not necessarily with a camera, but these are deceiving for the eye, because for layman, absolutely satisfying, because I noticed, because I got away with a much worse standing of seconds, and I always wanted to do this this Turner second dealing. Although, of course, it is, when you take a look at it, actually, it's simple Erdner's pushover, simple. It's probably the most difficult way you can do it. I'm going to the show of Julius Dahn in Antwerp. I really don't have a clue what to expect. Yeah, well, you will find out, right? I mean, it's exciting, huh? I think. If you can afford it, you know, I don't know, guys, what's your income situation, but once in a while, you know, going to live performance of that kind, you know, magic shows or theater or whatever, you know, where people are really bring this effort. It's such a different, it's such an amazing, it's such a great experience. It's you know, we are already, you know, it's like, or going to the cinema, man. I don't know when I've been to the cinema, and then the screen is so big, and then I realized, dude, I'm always watching stuff on these tiny screens. What am I, an idiot? Are you kidding me? So this is this, and this situation is much more intense, of course, live. For example, there is in Berlin here a comedy scene growing. For the first time, like a real stand-up comedy scene. We didn't have this in Germany so much. You know, Germany is like a very funny country. People are super, the Germans are so famous for their humor, you know. So we didn't have a scene like that. But since Berlin is the capital, and folks from all over the globe are shuffling through, right around the corner in a club that I've started with, I don't almost know, 15 years ago. There's now a comedy scene growing, and it's funny. Every Thursday I can walk down there for free. I get young talents, you know, testing out their material. It's amazing. It's like because you have this, you know, it's so much, it's so thrilling, you know. Because a lot of performers actually really do bum, and they need it. You know, I know they need it, but it's super exciting to see them struggle. They have this material, and they just try to make it work desperately. And I really envy these people, and I'm really with them. I'm so positive with these people because they do it, you know. They write down a couple of jokes, and they have this idea to be a stand-up comedian, and they're young and they're wild, and they're going on stage and they try to be funny, and then it's, you know, last 3 times have been wonderful. The other day, one guy said everybody, and today I don't know why, but it just didn't work. What the fuck? What was happening? He said it's just how it is, man. Just don't worry, man. Just make it better. Try to make it better next time, you know. Yeah, it's great. Live performances are great. Maybe here's a funny story for you guys. Last Thursday after the live stream, and probably I was streaming for about 3 hours, even more maybe, and I just went down to this pub, you know, to have a good night. A beer, you know, and it was quite full. The place was actually super crowded for Thursday night at about midnight or something, and that was amazing. So I I came in there, and it was so crazy because when you do a live stream, something like this, you are in the mindset of course being public and people watching you, and you're communicating with people, and you kind of, since it's just a one-way stream, you know, and of course we can interact here with the chat, but anyways, you're in the mindset of being the center of attention all the time, and doing this 3 hours intensely, it's completely insane actually. And then I went into this pub, and then I was in the center of attention. I felt like a completely shitty raised child, you know. I just I wanted to go to people and say, look at me, listen to me, I gotta tell you something. I don't know what I want to tell you, but I gotta tell you something. Took me really a beer or something and 15 minutes to accept the fact that everybody is in their own universe and has their own life, and they're already there for hours, you know, in the middle of conversations, and I'm just a random dude nobody gives a fuck about. It was so funny. Yeah. So as a matter of fact, there's a very unhealthy aspect of doing these live streams, you know, and of being a YouTuber, because it can lure you into this illusion that, I don't know, that you're the center of the universe, you know. And I don't want to be somebody who believes this is the center of the universe. There's enough. The world is crowded with idiots that believe they're the center of the universe. I don't want to be part of that zombie shit show, you know. Okay, a couple more of this will take so much time to get this fluffy puffy, to get this under control, but it's okay. It's okay. I keep rolling with it. I keep on doing it until I accept that I'm not in control, you know, and then I become the deal itself, you know, going home. To be quite honest with you guys, I stopped smoking 5 days ago or something, and it was pretty okay until now. Right now, this lust is just becoming so powerful. It's intense. It's really disgusting to be addictive. Disgusting. You know, I had a wonderful day. It's about 10 in the evening in Berlin. I've been now practicing for 2 hours. My senses are completely hyped here with everything. I'm practicing cards. I'm talking into a microphone permanently, basically trying to entertain you guys. So, you know, keep you amused, and you're practicing, and I'm practicing, and you know, a lot of stuff's going on. Listening to music at the same time. And stuff, and so I'm completely hyped. I'm completely in it. I'm here. And what else would I need? And then there comes this thing. You need to smoke a cigarette now. Yeah, that's what you need now. So stop everything and do this routine. You know. And it's so. This is insane. This is so insane. It's unbelievable. If I think about it. By the way, and what's also talked in this context about changing habits, you know, I thought this was quite interesting. Makes me wonder how much you can I can compare practicing skills or translate practicing skills into changing habits. Nothing's going on in the chat anymore. View numbers dropping rapidly. There's only 3 folks viewing. What is it? Are we calling this a night? Yeah, let's call it a night. So who's still with me? Who is still with me? Guys, let me know. No, I'm not teaching card tricks here. We are practicing card handling together. But if you want to learn some card tricks, you will find a lot of material on my channel. I have when you go to my channel page, you will find quite some tutorials on tricks. Jalen Gardner, right? And also tutorials for every trick, for tutorials on the slides, on the techniques you would need to perform these tricks. Yeah? Congrats on your effort to quit smoking. Yeah. But as we said, I should not be as this saying how we learned from Alan Watts. Should not say anything about it because and Flying Wii is just practicing as hard as I am right now. Yeah, well, great. Awesome. That's great, Flying Wii. We've got a future, baby. Or I like this track. This is amazing. So guys, we're still listening. This is all Royal Free Planet, yeah? Royal Free Planet on YouTube. Absolutely amazing. So now here the requests are coming in. Jalen Gardner wants to learn a second deal. And Samuel Manuel for I need a good card control but not a pass. Well, I've got a whole tutorial series up and running on my channel on the basics of card control. Catching a pinky break and then controlling the card. 4 of clubs For example, you got a fan, you got a spectator, place the card into the fan right there, and all you got to do, you close the spread, and you square up the cards, and the card is lost in the deck completely. And then you just, you know, take your time very slowly while you talk with your audience, and you can just cut right there to the card. Ooh, card control. That's a card control where you catch a break and then you control the card at any point given to your command while you misdirect your audience. And then of course there are many different card control techniques like the pass that you can use to immediately control the card. We got the beautiful beat joker here, and I just let it there in the center of the pack. We're squaring up the cards. We're just waiting a second here for the magic to happen, and then the joker comes rising to the top of the deck. So a fast forward approach. You're doing the dirty work right there in front of their eyes. And then of course there are all these techniques where you are actually pretending the magic happening. So we got the joker here right there in the center of the pack, and that was placing it right there in the center, back air right there, and then the joker comes back to the top. So this is pretending. I was really sloppy with this right now. Let me make this more beautiful. Let me try this more beautiful. Here's the card, just like there, right there. I just bring it right there. There goes the joker, cutting the cards. Itsy bitsy spider, snap with the fingers. I'm so tired right now. And the joker comes jumping back to the top. So there's many variations, you know, and it's really important to understand the basic concept of card control in order to really use these advanced techniques. No? So I'm a very reserved by just teaching techniques, advanced techniques, because usually people don't know how to use them. Even if they think, especially if they think they know how to use them. So get started with the basics, and if you can master the basics, you can proceed. Yeah, that's the word. Here's on my channel, no false promises. It's not the easy way. This is the real deal on this channel. Just that you know. So Samuel Emmanuel 4 sorry, I forgot it. I need a card control to bring the card to the second position. I would recommend for a beginner level, definitely for a to get things really going, the overhand shuffle, right, where you can basically set up any kind of positioning you need for any card. So we have the two of hearts on top of the deck, and what I would do is I would shuffle the cards and have the spectator stop me at any point, and of course then we have the spectator put the card in the deck, right, and then I would shuffle right over the cards, just like that. and by doing so, losing the card in the deck. Add one or another false cut to it, Samuel, and then you've got your card on the second on the top. Yeah, so false shuffling, false cutting combination. To get it going, there are techniques to do this faster, right cutting edge on front of you, but these are very difficult techniques that first of all take a lot of time to actually master as a sleight, and they are even more complicated, more difficult to embed them actually into a real performance. And I'm the only one who's who's really honest about it. You know, everybody chests very difficult slides here on YouTube, but nobody really considers that most of you guys have not at least not a minimum experience level to actually use these techniques. So I don't want to waste my and your time with that. Jalen Gardner writes, can you show us great playing cards you like? Work with every card, you can lay your hands on. Everything from the USPCC playing card is workable actually. I'm a huge fan of the bees, of the telehose, and of course the standard bicycles. These are the cards I use more often, and then I got a little collection of other cards. And now the camera is overheating, so we got to turn the camera off a little bit. We did this again, right? You have to chat. And then Jalen Gardner is watching from school. That's great. So you got your internet on school, or you're watching on your mobile on school right now, actually, when everybody's learning something in school? What are you doing, yeah? Can you say anything about Monica? I'm thinking about buying Juran's book, but just wonder if you have any thoughts. No, I don't know. I don't have any thoughts. Whenever buying, first of all, a book, you can't do much wrong with a book, right? Book is always a book. It might be just something where you say, yeah, it wasn't that what I expected or something, but that's not really a loss, you know. If you know why you want to have it, if you're interested in a specific, why did this come across your way? You know, what is this? What are you looking for? This is the question I would ask. And I've heard that I guess so many people are talking about it right now. I don't even know what. How many, this is what is it there? Now I gotta Google this. I'll Google this. I wanna. What is it exactly? Yeah, memorize. Yeah, of course. Yeah, memorize stack. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. Naja, yeah. Buy it. Yeah. This is absolutely, man. This is absolutely worth studying. This is, you know, I'm here. And it's a lot of really throughout many even different generations, a lot of television guys. This is absolutely rich, and it's also this whole aspect of a certain organized set with which you can do incredible things. This is amazing. Yeah, you will not regret. I would be pretty amazed and stunned if you would regret this purchase. Yeah. However, it's a book, you know. So you will not. You have to put effort into more effort than watching a DVD, you know, to get what you're looking for, you know, or just to get a feeling for it. Just that you know. Yeah, this is what I believe. I just read it here. It says it's a book. It's a book capable of changing the reader's entire approach to card magic. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would expect this too. Also, from what I heard, I'm a very for me, I'm a very sleight of hand, impromptu, really jazzed, rough worker, So these things are so it's high art, for me. So you have my permission to buy it, okay? And if you don't like it, I'll buy it from you, okay? So crazy, Jay and Gardner, putting a lot of effort into watching my stuff, right? Thank you. Yeah, this is also already a crazy session already today. We've been listening to some, I don't know, spiritual stuff from a philosopher, Alan Watts, about consciousness, divine consciousness of practicing cards. Yeah, it's somewhere there in the past, of this live stream. So let's see if I can. So I should be back right now, because what happened is that OBS completely crashed. OBS just went off, okay? Sorry guys, I'm sorry guys. It wasn't the stream quality. It was that the program itself completely said, fuck it, I'm out of here. So, man, let's listen to some music here, some crazy music in the background coming up. I want to go, yes, back to the table, enable your chat, we're back on track, what is happening here? And now I've got this, yes, nice. So we're back here. Yeah, a million card tricks and card shuffler 99, oh, it's a nice channels also, nice magic channels, yeah, absolutely, you can do that, man, why not? Turn myself a little smaller here, make myself smaller than I am. I'm a small guy here tonight. We're back on track here, everybody. Don't panic. Everything's nice. Back on the cards. Oh man, my face is super sweaty. Wait a minute. Who's still with me? Jane Gardner. No! OTHMARIUS is gone. I gotta update this one here. The chat doesn't work here anymore. It all crashed. It sucks so bad. You can't know what the fuck is happening. Let me just check this out here. How can I refresh this chat here? What is happening? Yeah. Man, the world is crazy. Why can I refresh the chat? What is happening? It's not supposed to be like this. I can see you here, and there is the same problem. See that? It's this chat here. It's this chat, it's not working. What am I gonna do about it? I don't know. Ah, let's give it a try. Okay, I guess I fixed the problem. Did I? Oh, come on. Now OBS is fucked or what? This is why it works with this chat. What the hell? This is so it's annoying me. Why is that not working? What the hell? What the hell? Let's give this a try. Good try, man. No, it's not working. I don't know what's happening here. But I know what I can do. I know what I do. I know I have now a solution, a workaround. I just fixed this, guys. I fixed this. Because I just can't accept it, that this is not working. So I make copy, and then I paste it in here. And then I say, okay. And now it should be working. Yes! I'm a genius. My name is Master Hacker OTHMARIUS. Yes! And now I have to do one. Ah! I was so close. It was so close. I do this once again. And I got it now. I got it. I hacked it. I hacked it. Well, now I got it. Wait a second. One more time. Bang and bang. Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. I don't understand why it's... Jaren Gato, what's going on? I'm trying to fix my chat. I have a problem with my chat here. I want to have this beautiful thing and then see what's going on with chat. But this is now broken. And I can't repair it. You see? It's completely a waste of time, but it doesn't matter. This is working here. And it's working here. What's going on? I don't know. I'm crazy. I'm doing this for too long, you know? I'm doing this for 3 hours now. 2040, and this is me losing my shit. Jaren Gato. Rick Morris is there. Deck change. Deck change is very, very important technique also. Changing the deck. Okay. Okay, I'm out of control here today. Back to the cards. I just keep on practicing a little bit. Who's still with me? Anybody with me? This is crazy. So. Rick Moise, what happened to your hair and beard? Dude, well, you haven't been tuning in for quite a while, right? Oh, man. My hair is growing back already, man. Like, there's already, you know, hair growing back. It was super short, you know? Cut my hair and beard, you know? Sometimes you gotta do some changes, you know? Folks say I look younger now. really nice Tuesday night jam session here. Going into the night. I don't care if this goes on another hour. Lot of great stuff coming. We have in our art gallery super awesome artist exhibiting. Vernissage is coming Friday, so there's quite some work to do to get this thing going. And then there's also our marketplace going on the weekend. So a lot of things coming. And then on Saturday, also on the weekend, I'm going to see Eddie Izzard live in Berlin with his show Wunderbar. Yeah, looking forward seeing this this master of comedy live on stage. It's going to be amazing, no doubt about that. So a lot of great things coming for me this week, but also a lot of work, and unhappily I'm also a little sick today. I've got my foot is not right, and I've got chronic pain. I can't really walk, really. It's bad. But I went to the doctor today. It's nothing that's gonna kill me, but I gotta, change some habits in my life. So who's practicing cards with me? Who's still at the card table? Samuel Emanuel. Es gibt ein paar Zauberschulen, aber das sind natürlich nur private Schulen, ja. Und dann gibt es natürlich auch Privatlehrer. Das ist ein bisschen so wie in der Musik, aber staatliche Einrichtungen gibt es nicht. Die meisten Zauberer lernen Autodidakt. Früher Mund zu Mund, vom Meister zum Novizen oder über Bücher. Heute natürlich mit Lehrvideos. Just was speaking German a little bit because Samuel Manuel asked me something in German if there are magic schools. Also auf meinem Kanal ist alles in Englisch, aber da findest du sehr viele Sachen für die Kartenzauberei zum Einstieg auch. Und wenn du auf Deutsch lernen willst, es gibt einen Kanal, den kennst du dann aber vielleicht auch schon, Motrix TV von Mo Jones. Der Typ hat extrem gute Lehrvideos. Der hat aber auch echt lange nichts von sich hören lassen. Aber der hat viel gutes Material da. Mo-Tricks TV findest du, wenn du bei der Suche auf YouTube eingibst. So I just said to Samuel Manuel that if he's looking for German content, there is a channel. I actually did a live street magic session with the guy called Motrix, Mo Jones from Motrix TV, and he's probably the best magic channel available in German language. Of course, there are much bigger YouTube channels, but they're more this kindergarten, albern, with no real deep knowledge of the art forms like this. What we got everywhere on YouTube, we got the idiots up front, lowest common denominator, content for children and retards, and you gotta dig a little deeper, to get to the candy, to the real good stuff, to the dope shit, the stuff that gets you high, to the illegal stuff, to the dangerous stuff, you know. Flying Wee has got to go, catching some sleep. It was fun to practice together again. Thank you so much, Flying Wee. Take care. See you. So next session on Tuesday, right? Next Tuesday. Hopefully you find the time. You got the time. See you there around. Have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic weekend. You are rocking amazing. Okay. Dream of your dreams. You know. Get some sleep, and have a wonderful day tomorrow. You can do it. What am I listening to? This is again so cool. I can't believe it, man. I have to turn this up. This is royalty free from the royalty free planet. We're listening to the song In Limbo. Amazing. Absolutely dope. Dope shit. Okay, see you around, Flying V. Yokoman 8058, it's time for me to go to. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye, Yokoman. Been here all the time, secretly practicing, silently practicing. See you soon. Cheers, man. Take care. Rock on. So, Samuel, where can I learn card in Spectator's wallet or pocket? I have to pay for this, or is it for free? Well, you don't really have to pay for it's called card in impossible location, but there are various different ways of doing this. And of course, for card into a wallet, into Spectator's wallet is pretty advanced, man. Usually you do this into your own wallet, into the Magician's wallet, of course. Thread wallet, also there are different versions of it. I would start with a card to impossible location, a folded card into impossible location, and therefore you need to learn the so-called Mercury fold. And for everything else, you of course have to master how to palm a card, right? There's different versions, different books, and there's different products out there also. I'm sorry. I just said this with the music super loud. I'm sorry. Samuel Emanuel, where can I learn a card in Spectator's wallet or pocket? Do I have to pay for this, or is it free? Basically nothing's really free, man, you know, and especially when it's some products or even some secrets. And you should also be very careful to learn from YouTube for free effects that are marketed out there, because the people who, in a lot of cases, the people who sell the products, they really know what they're talking about and explaining, instead of some nobby, you know, just buying the product and then revealing it on YouTube. But of course you don't need to buy every trick that's out there, you know, who can afford this. So card to Spectator's wallet is something different than card to pocket, of course. In general, we're talking in Magic about card to impossible location, and there are 1,000 different versions of it. Different products are usually you do it into Magician's wallet. It's just, there are different products, different wallets out there from probably 25 bucks to 250 bucks. But you need to know how to palm cards, and for card to impossible location, usually a folded card, you need to know the so-called Mercury fold. It's in pretty much a lot of books out there. Yes, this is a good thing what you say. I learned first my double lift, card control, and force a card. Yes, these are these basic techniques. You can find them in a book like the Royal Road to Card Magic, on various YouTube channels like Motrix TV in German. You find also a tutorial series on my channel. You go to the web page of my channel, the Start Page of my Channel, auf der Startseite von meinem Kanal. Da findest du Tutorial-Serien über den Double Lift, Basics of Card Control, Card Forcing Techniken. Ja, das ist alles da, findest du da. Aber alles auf Englisch halt, ne? Oh man, this music's super intense here. It's crazy. Oh no, I'm pushing myself again with the bottom deal. I just want to get this done. I just want to master this. It's gonna be so awesome when I finally can do it. Okay, so if you know it, so check out my stuff. It's good stuff. It's all there. Okay, dann gute Nacht, Samuel Manuel 4. Hat mich gefreut. Wir machen das nächste Woche dienstags wieder, ab 8. Bist ja aus Deutschland, ne? 8 bis um jetzt irgendwann. Coole Sache. Freut mich, dass du deinen Weg zu mir gefunden hast. At this point, I don't give a rat's. I'm just practicing cards, chatting a little bit with you guys, getting crazy over the bottom deal here, trying to, and my muscles are already now tired. I'm going into this aggressive mode here, pushing myself to the very limit. Super, vielen lieben Dank. Talking a little bit German here with Samuel Manuel. He's just new to the show, just discovered this here, I guess. Almost 3 hours. We're doing this crazy thing here for 3 hours almost. Woohoo! Music is a little bit loud here, doesn't matter. Let's roll, let's do this. Nice. Do you see the smoke here? Oh, I'm hot, man, I'm hot. Man, I got the beats so loud on my headphones right now. It's freaking intense. Ba-ba-ba. Woohoo! It's no chaos, it's just chaos in me, inside of me, my hands, my shoulder, everything's just out of control. I have nothing under control here. I'm the Buddha, I'm the devil, I'm everybody, man. I'm still too much ego, you know. I gotta realize that it all is just an illusion, nothing's real. This is just an illusion, you know. We learned this today. Alan Watts has been preaching to us. No, it wasn't so much preaching. It was just more, you know, sharing some pretty high thoughts, you know, about the chakra and the karma and the things, you know, the soul. I just want to learn how to properly bottom deal here. I don't even know why I want to do this, man. No reason. I need to put a clock or something in here that shows and a counter or so that when people are tuning in, they realize for how long I'm doing this already, so that you know, somebody's tuning into the Prime and just looking, oh, what's going on live stream, and then and there's this live stream where somebody's like completely wasted and tired hands. So, you know, to get this visualize this for people, because you know, you never know at what time the other person is at. This is crazy because it's a globalized world. There's no, you know, you tune in from California. I don't know what time is it there. They just started or something. Jalen Gardner has just been watching from school, you know. And I'm here, you know, in the middle of the night. I'm a night flyer. But right now I'm thinking I'm just still too civilized with everything, you know, too reasonable. Need to go more crazy on you guys, you know. Yeah, we can do this. There's still a lot of improvements to make, you know. What do you say? So this chat is dead. Doesn't matter. It's just the hands. You can see the chat. Just the hands and my voice and some music. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that pure? Can it be more pure? Wow, this is some hardcore music change here right now. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? So at some point I crashed here again, but because of the really of the stream, not because of OBS. I should be back on track here right now, but it's just telling me, you know, that's how it is. Although right now I just getting this groove, man, with the music and just pushing myself to the limits. I hate it, man. It was just great right now. What the hell now? And all of a sudden the stream quality is bad for the first time tonight? That's ridiculous. Come on. I keep on doing this. Whatever obstacle comes my way, I'm just mastering the bottom deal, pushing my hands to the freaking limit. And also I got the blinky blinky keyboard, which is pretty dope, don't you think so? So who are the 4 remaining viewers right now? Who are you guys? Are you still awake, or are you asleep, or are you alive, or are you brain dead, or are you eating, or are you making out, or what are you? Or are you playing games and there's just this guy running in the background, or are you practicing cards, or are you just is this just real, or is this just YouTube telling me somebody's watching so that I keep streaming for no apparent reason? Who are you? Talk to me, talk to me. Yeah. Okay, guys. I just wanted to. There's only two people watching right now. It's late in the evening at least in Berlin. I'm doing this for 3 hours and 10 minutes right now. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody who tuned in today. I really appreciate it. Your time. It's pretty amazing. I still keep practicing here a little bit, but I will not be so communicative anymore because I've said what I wanted to say, and this is just one live stream of a whole series of live stream. I keep on doing this Tuesday to Tuesday and to Tuesday, and when I can't do this on a Tuesday, I will do this on a Thursday, always at 8, practicing cards together, giving it a topic or not, maybe even going to a walkthrough of the Royal Road to Card Magic. There's a lot of stuff coming up on my channel. Right now I got the music extremely loud on my headphones, and I'm wide awake and super sharp because I've been practicing here very intensely but for the last 20-25 minutes, really going deep into that, and I'm going back right now. For everybody who's just tuning in right now, have fun, get a deck of cards out, practice with me. Everybody else, I'll see you around next time. I don't understand. Wow, that was a pretty intense track here, everybody. Now there's 6 people watching again. My views dropped from, I don't know, almost down to 2, and I said goodbye to everybody already because I'm doing this already for 3 hours and 13 minutes practicing cards here. Talked a lot. We had a great session tonight here, and I'm still at it. You know, I'm still nuts and bananas and crazy. And I love it. I just love it, and I'm getting into this practice vibes now. I usually get to when I'm practicing about this time after such a long time, like really in a meditative, very focused, but also very crazy, almost aggressive state of pushing it, to next level, next limit. It's not always productive to practice like this, but sometimes it's just also super fun, and I'm just doing it right now. So if you are into cards and card magic, get a deck of cards out, get inspired and practice, because practice is everything, Practice time is super important, dude, man. You need more practice, man. I'm telling you, you need more practice. And also right now the music is so great, man. These tracks are so awesome. I like it. And this is royalty-free stuff, This is I'm so glad I found this channel. That's absolutely fantastic. Royalty-free planet here on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys, for uploading this incredible royalty-free music, which enables me as a YouTuber, as a live streamer, to work with great music, without getting claimed by by third parties and stuff, and take all my money, you know, all the money I'm making here on YouTube. So, Luke Gregg just asked, what are you doing? I'm practicing cards, mate, and I was just gone for a second. Just crashed, OBS crashed again. Super annoying. Super annoying. OBS crashed again, super duper annoying. And now I got this chat problem here, but there's, now this chat works now, the other chat is broken. So I can go now here, and I can say, Luke, Greg, what are you doing? I'm practicing cards here on my channel, OTHMARIUS MAGIC, and I'm also already doing this for over 3 hours. And it's getting late here in Berlin, the capital of Berlin, where I'm broadcasting from, you know. And I'm a card sharp, card magician, and I'm practicing my thing. We talked a lot of crazy things here today about religion, physics, card control, the archetypes of a magician, different card control techniques. A lot of stuff went on. Welcome to the show, Luke, if you're new to this channel. That's what I do, that's how I roll. Practicing cards with you guys together every Tuesday. And I got a lot of candy up and running on my channel. Just check it out. Look, I'm not a professional magician. I don't do it for money right now. Can't believe it. 2 times today OBS itself crashed, and once I crashed because of the streaming quality. That's insane. Yeah, a little bit up to the ladder cuts here. Very nice cutting techniques. I'm already done with it. I'm just getting somewhere. I'm almost there. You know, I'm almost there. Where you gotta need to be with something like this. You know. Being able to talk, you know, to do this almost completely without focusing on it, but you just gotta watch one shot, you know, if you do it. If you lose, if you fail, then oh man, you failed. And it's like nice to do it like this. So I would, and I perform it, I maybe would go into something like this. So of course I start doing the rounds. If I look at it, it's crazy. Sometimes if you're not looking at something and then you go up, you know. something like this. So you go 1 and 2, and you go up, and then you go down again. You know, I don't know. Or maybe you just want them to look at it all the time. Yeah, let's see. This is something that calls for attention, anyways. Even if you're looking up, they will be going looking at your hands, because laymen haven't seen this cutting the cards like this. Looks pretty awesome to laymen, like completely like what the hell, shuffling the cards, you know. Pro is shuffling the cards. Can't be. Do your best trick. Luke, say stop. Stop there. Let's check it out. Will you stop me at? It's the 9 of spades, Luke. 9 of no, 9 of clubs. I'm sorry, 9 of clubs, Luke. Taking the 9 of clubs. Check it out. Placing the 9 of clubs right there in the center of the pack. Now, if I turn over the top card now, check it out. What's happening? And it is. No, it's a 10 of spades. Something went wrong, Luke. Let me make it up for you, okay? 10 of spades. Look, let me turn it into the 9 of clubs. 10 of spades into the 9 of clubs, Luke. What do you say? What do you say? You know how this works? Because if I take the 9 of clubs, Luke, and I place it right there in the center of the pack, check it out. What's happening? One snap on my fingers, and the 9 of clubs just comes jumping back to the top. What do you say to that, Luke? Are you excited about it? You want to see this again? Look, I got here on top of the deck a 9 of clubs, right? Just a 9 of clubs. I take that 9 of clubs. Look, I place it right there in the center of the pack. Are you with me, Luke? Are you with me? 9 of clubs. 1, 2, 3. Snap with your fingers, and the 9 of clubs comes jumping back to the top of the deck. Bang. Ah. See these things? I'm eating these things. Invisible things. I'm eating invisible things. This is so epic. We can read, double, lift, card, control, and force. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, right, Luke? Look, let me show you something. Let me show you something that will blow your mind. Because it appears like an illusion, okay, look. When I start dealing the cards like this, see this? Yeah? I'm just dealing them right there, down on the table, yeah? And I keep on doing this, just like that. I just keep on dealing them onto the table, yeah? Very slowly, with very tired hands here. But as a matter of fact, all I did is dealing them cards right there on the table. And I gotta work on the speed here. And I keep on dealing them onto the table, Luke. As you can see, just like that. Yeah. And they almost appeared. Disappeared. Just like that. And then finally, I've just done it. Yeah, just there. Bang. And all the cards are gone. And 1, What? So, of course I performed this very lousy right now because I'm super tired and I've never practiced the timing. Life is crazy. Important thing is to look at single tricks and single effects are not really, I don't really care about it because in a real performance situation, this is not satisfying people. This is more frustrating, you know, if you go there and say like, look at this, bang, and you show one effect. So it's really more, I'm more the live guy, you know, the real world guy, and not the tele guy or the YouTube great clips guy. So when you perform magic, you gotta have a routine, you gotta have something to tell and share with the people, and then you entertain them with a deck of cards and with some effects that you produce with a deck of cards. They don't have to be difficult, they don't have to be completely crazy nuts banana, you don't have to hit them with one visual effect after another in order to perform decent card magic, yeah? So just that you know who you're dealing with. Oh wow, the camera is overheating again. It's absolutely insane. So I gotta turn the camera off for a moment. You know what? It's done this for 3 hours and 30 minutes. I guess I call it a night. With 5 folks watching right now. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Today was a great session. I enjoyed it so much. We talked a lot about many things, and I'm exhausted right now. I will keep on practicing a little bit, but I just don't want to do this here with the streaming anymore. Gotta hit the toilet anyways, and 3 hours and 30 minutes. It's a decent time. I just met here a new fellow, Luke, Greg, with a nice interaction with you here. There's right now 6 folks watching till the very end here. Thank you so much. My name is OTHMARIUS. This is just what I do. Hopefully you guys are tuning back in next Tuesday, same time, same place. In the meantime, feel free to browse my channel. I've got a lot of tutorials and some performances up and running there. I'm on YouTube for quite a while, but you know, I'm an underdog here on the platform with the algorithm not really recommending my stuff, and I don't really know why, but I don't care at this point anymore. Building up a very cozy community with a lot of really interesting folks shuffling in. You will find also all the goodies, all the shout outs and all the interesting stuff I talked about today in the info cards as well in the info box. I gave a shout out to Richard Bellas, with which I had a super awesome and exciting interaction last live stream, watching our live streams together while live streaming. It was super funny. And then we took a look, or we listened into the works of Alan Watts, some spiritualist. Was super interesting also for half an hour, and then practicing cards. And also you find links to some tutorial series concerning the main topic of today, card control and different card control types and techniques. All you find in the info cards, and also the link to my Patreon site. If you want to check this out, you can also do that. I don't know where you're watching from, what time it is, whatever you up to next. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great time. Keep on practicing, practice well, and hopefully see you around soon. My name is OTHMARIUS, and this is just what I do, yeah? You be sure now, more magical stuff is going to be uploaded very, very soon. OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe.